What's up, YouTube? Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button and that notification bell so you can get my videos when they drop. And make sure you share my videos with everyone. Now, I see that the government is still infiltrating and cracking down on specific gangs and people in Chicago. Now, what I mean by this is that they still running these covert operations where they intentionally seek out certain gang leaders and attempt to trap them into illegal activities. Some shit that's been going on for years, many years. And that's the case here with this brother Jason Brown, also known as Abdul Jameh, who is the leader of the AHK gang in Chicago. This gang consists of ex-Black P Stones, the Gangster Disciples, and the Four Corner Hustlers, who all converted to Islam. Now, Jason Brown was arrested for allegedly trying to help the terrorist group ISIS. Now, what's puzzling to me is that by now everybody should know that ISIS was constructed by the government, and anyone attempting to deal with them will automatically be targeted by the CIA because it consists of agents. This is not a real people. This is not a real terrorist group. This group was put together by agents. This is no known terrorist group. It's fake, So what's going on here is they're alleging that Jason provided $500 on 3 separate occasions this year to someone who was supposed to wire the money to an Islamic State soldier in Syria who is part of the ISIS terrorist organization. Now, they also recorded numerous phone calls of Jason allegedly saying that jihad cannot be done like it is in Syria. In the U.S., jihad is done by spreading the word of Islam. Now, if you're not familiar with the word jihad, it simply means a struggle or fight against the enemies of Islam. We all know who the enemy of Islam is in America and across and in the world. In the Quran, the Muslim, which is the Muslim Bible, Muslims are able to go all the way. They should be able to go. It says they should be able to go all the way in effort in cause for Allah, which is God, or whatever you choose to call universe or whatever. So I just wanted to add that the government had infiltrated and took down most of the high-ranking members of this notorious Chicago organization called the Rookins. They did that back in the day. Who they allege was dealing with Muammar Gaddafi and attempting to buy numerous weapons, including rocket launchers and shit of that nature. This resulted in the incarceration of the infamous Jeff Fort. Now, if you're not familiar with who Jeff Fort is, I suggest you go research the brother and familiarize yourself with him. I know everybody in Chicago, Indiana, and around the Midwest know who he is. But anyway, I brought that up to say that these type of operations been going on for years, and they'll lock you away in prison, in a federal prison for life. Anyhow, Jason didn't know that the individual that they saying he allegedly dealt with was working with law enforcement. The supposed to be ISIS soldier was in fact an undercover agent, as explained. This is what, as I explained, this is what ISIS is comprised of, agents. So he was in fact dealing with an agent, allegedly. The government is saying that Jason Brown recruited and radicalized the gang members to support ISIS, and every member had to convert to Islam. That's one of the rules. So, you have to be careful when trying to do things and deal with certain people, because like I said, ISIS is it's made up of agents. So if you're dealing with somebody from ISIS, you're dealing with an undercover agent, which lets you know right there, all they're doing is trying to entrap and set people up. Now, I know it's not uncommon for most gang members in Chicago to convert to Islam, because I know many vice lords who practice Islam. I was incarcerated with vice lords who practice Islam. A lot of them too. You know, Jason Brown and Jason Brown, he came up under Abdullah El Fasel, who he is heavily influenced by, who was born in Jamaica and later moved to London to preach. Actually, he was sent out there to preach. He didn't go on his own accord. He was sent out there to preach, you know. Abdullah Al Fasel, he's no joke. He has followers all over the world that's ready to put in work. You know, he was convicted of terrorism because he was ordering the murders of all Jews, Hindus, Christians, and American peoples, you know. And I'm going to say allegedly. He's also connected to the high-profile so-called people whom the American government deems as terrorists in this world. So all the people that's on the high-profile list, like the top 10, they have him connected to him. So anytime something happens, you know, they gonna incarcerate him and keep him incarcerated or whatever. Right now, he's incarcerated and he's trying to get out on appeals, you know. But this is who Jason Brown allegedly came up under and been heavily influenced by, and this is who they connected him to. Now, according to the federal agents' documents, Jason Brown was recorded saying that anyone who disrespects the Prophet Muhammad, his head gotta go. You know, if you're familiar with Islam and Muslims, you know, people always, some of them been known to say that before, that if you disrespect the Prophet Muhammad, that, you know, your head got to go. They will behead you. They have beheaded people in those Islamic states over there in the Middle East. Anyway, he's facing 20 years in federal prison if convicted for attempting to provide material information to foreign terrorists. You know, so they're saying that he provided information that would assist ISIS in furthering them in their organization to destroy other people, you know, in other states. You know, so he's looking at 20 years, you know, for providing that material information to a foreign terrorist organization. Now, in my opinion, I don't believe that they arrested him over terrorist accusations. I believe because he controlled and was the leader of a known Chicago gang, and they could never indict him on drug charges or any other charge. They put together a bullshit terrorist charge like they've done on many Chicago gang members in the past. You know? Yeah, hell yeah. It's known that other gang members were arrested for narcotics charges, including fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. Now, I'm talking about the gang members from his gang, the one he's the leader of. They was arrested for fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. Now, we all know that this fentanyl is heavy on the streets right now, everywhere. And it's been destroying not only black families, but it's been destroying these Caucasian families the most. It's tearing them down. These Percocets, all these pills, all this heroin, it's destroying them. It's making them look like zombies, and they hate that. So now it's a war on drugs to stop the flow of fentanyl and the pills and the heroin, you know, all drugs the government put on the streets anyway. They the ones who put this shit on the streets. You know, they the ones who started the illegal wars in Afghanistan over there in the Middle East just so they can gain control of the poppy fields and distribute the heroin and Percocets, which is derived from the poppy plant. You see how Percocets came on the scene. Now, they didn't just come on the scene within the last 5 years or something like that. They've been on the scene, but within these last 5 years, they hit the scene real hard. And that's what everybody addicted to. They snorting them. They smoking them. They addicted. Young people. So now all of a sudden it's a war on drugs. So this is what I believe they wanted to get him for. This right here, because they saying that his gang was distributing and selling fentanyl and heroin and cocaine. And when they can't catch somebody, they trump up and put together false and phony charges on him, especially if it's a young black man and he making millions. They'll do some shit like that, some dirty shit, you know. So this young brother Jason is a target. He was a target and a casualty of a drug war disguised as terrorism. And him being a Muslim made it easier for them to orchestrate and devise a well thought out plan against him and his gang associates. So the underlying problem here is really drugs and not terrorism, because the government owns ISIS and knows who, what, when, and where about the organization and what goes on. So all that other stuff is BS. But look here, you know, let me know how y'all feel about this. Let me know how y'all feel about this young brother in the comments below and everything. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, especially if you're new. If you're new to my channel, I thank you for tuning in. And I thank you to all my subscribers who always tune in, and anybody else who tune in. And make sure y'all hit that like button and that notification bell. If you hit that notification bell, you're going to be able to get my videos. And if you hitting it and you still not getting my notifications, then you already know what that means. You already know what that means. You know, you can read between the lines. And just make sure y'all share my videos, though. Peace.